Hello, welcome to a beautiful morning and another episode of Forgotten Cemeteries Pacific Northwest. Today we're at Hillside Cemetery, which is located in Forest Grove, Oregon, Washington County. However, I think it's kind of closer to Gales Creek, and believe it or not, there's a Kansas City, Oregon just east of here. But my readings indicate Kansas City was like never really a town and long gone with no PO, but I did see signs for it, and did see Kansas City Road. It's way out in the country, this cemetery. It's really pretty out here. Alternative names of this cemetery, there's none that I know of. So let's go meet some of the local residents and hear their story. Some bustling in the bushes in front of us. Hopefully a badger won't run out or something. But a little bit of the history of this cemetery. It's got a little beautiful entrance here as well. History was limited for the most part. It was established in 1887, which you can see on the sign there, with an estimated 100 to 500 burials per the Oregon Burial Site Guide. Find a grave is showing 393 memorials so far, so still kind of small. The land was donated by a Benjamin and Ellen Hodgson, I think that's how you say it, in 1889. And I believe I read the first burial was of Mary Clapshaw in 1887. I feel like we've seen that name before in our travels. And that's pretty much your history for the most part. It's a quiet one here with late arrivals for the most part. Lots of Englishmen, or I guess you'd say English people, with a dash of Canadians. We have Civil War vets, a man who renounced his allegiance to his queen. It's kind of neat. Salamander species education, our favorite. Symbolism, a story of another cemetery that was erased from time. And finally, a mystery person with an odd story who died of an accidental gunshot wound. Emphasis on accidental. And here we have Lloyd Pruden, our first stop. Born in 1826 in Ohio and lived there until 1856, moving to Iowa. I like this profile because we took the same route in life. Iowa, and Oregon. He would enlist in Iowa 30th Infantry during the Civil War, so he is a Civil War vet. They fought in quite a bit of battles and were very active. More importantly, they helped achieve Union victory at the Battle of Missionary Ridge, which was fought in November in 1863. This battle would showcase U.S. Grant and George Henry Thomas versus Confederate commander Braxton Bragg. Braxton actually had quite the resume serving in the Seminole War and Mexican-American War during that time. And of course, he was educated at West Point, so quite the challenger for Grant. Hence, he would lead his Army of Tennessee versus Grant and Thomas's Army of Cumberland and their version of the Army of Tennessee. Again, this is a time where states were sort of split, I guess. You'll often hear like the Union or the Confederate Tennessee Army. And it appears the 30th Iowa took part in this battle with a Union victory. This would allow the Union to take control of Tennessee. More importantly, the Union took control of Chattanooga, the gateway to the South. Here is James Nathaniel Scherer, born in 1840 in Boone, North Carolina. He is another Civil War vet and fought in the 2nd Kansas Cavalry Regiment, who used the Hall's rifle mainly, a single-shot rifle. They saw a few battles and fought in the Battle of Devil's Backbone, which I thought was a cool name. This battle took place at the, Ouachita Mountains, which are located in Arkansas. And surprise, we have another salamander species that is only found in these mountains. If you watch this channel, we learned at Gales Creek Cemetery about the Cheat Mountain salamander that was only found in the Cheat Mountains of West Virginia. Here, in this case, of the Ouachita Mountains, I'm probably saying that right, you'll discover the salamander species, the Forche Mountain salamander. Somebody out there will enjoy the zoology. Sadly, the Forche salamander is a threatened species. Back to James here, the Battle of Devil's Backbone was a small scuffle with 1,500 Union versus 1,200 Confederate soldiers taking place. Both sides claimed victory in the end, I guess. However, Union Commander William F. Cloud said you guys retreated, therefore I win type of deal. And the Confederate commander William L. Campbell apparently misinterpreted the end of the battle. He kind of said oh, well, I thought we won, so we left. So basically the Union was declared the victor in that one, but I thought that was a little interesting battle there with a result. So this next individual, not only was their history dodgy, but I cannot find their headstone for such a small cemetery. I was a little surprised by that, but maybe it wasn't meant to be. So got this nice little view here of this tree that fell over or cut, not sure, in the valley. So we're looking for Asa Ellsworth Westcott. This one sort of frustrated me because I couldn't find much info on what happened to Asa. There was little information, but they were killed by a gunshot, but it was determined to be accidental. Then another report said Asa mysteriously disappeared but reappeared magically with no explanation early in the year of 1924. And they died in 1924, so I thought that was strange. Must have been an important person because they served in the Oregon legislature. Like I said here, something's not right, but Asa died at the young age of 46 from that gunshot incident. I have to ask myself, what's up with the disappearance event and then an accidental gunshot incident just a few months later? It's a little curious. I wish I could have found more on that story, so maybe someone out there knows more. And here is the headstone of James Henry Sade, or Sad. I'm not really sure how to say it correctly, but he was born in England in 1827. Came to the USA in 1845, but I didn't see him on the Oregon Trail list. I did read, though, his wife was from England, and they got married in 1852, but she came to America from Canada. But we have a first here. In 1889, James will renounce his allegiance to the Queen of Great Britain and join the USA. So, sorry, Britain, he's ours now. Hope that camera angle's okay. Any camera angle I take, the sun wants to blast through the camera lens, so this is as good as it gets. I hope you can see it. But the headstone belongs to William Clapshaw, an Englishman who was born in 1843. He would first move to the USA, landing in Wisconsin. As a Buckeye fan, all right, you have great cheese, I'll give you that. Not sure if it beats the father of cheese, though. It was buried in Oregon. See my Hill Cemetery video if you'd like to learn more about his story. But William would move to Minnesota, then to Oregon in 1875, so pretty late arrivals for us. However, William was a cavalry officer during the Civil War in Company B of the Mountain Rangers of the 6th Minnesota Volunteer Regiment. Let's be happy he's alive, because I did read that the 6th was sort of rushed in the battle and was very green. There's a cool picture someone posted on Find a Grave, and it shows William and Samuel Clapshaw together, and we'll visit Samuel here in a few. And here is Samuel Clapshaw. That's one of the more popular names in the cemetery. I don't know if I mentioned that previously, but yeah, quite a bit of them here. And there is a Clapshaw Road. That's how you get to this cemetery from my neck of the woods. But here's Samuel, and who served with his brother William during the Civil War. Also born in England like his brother. Lived until the age of 90 before dying in 1929. So pretty good run by him. Thought we'd stop by William Nichols Thompson's headstone, which displays the iconic woodsman of the woodcraft symbol. You can see up here rests a woodman of the world listed. You'll also see, maybe you can see it, but I'll show you actually another headstone that has like a little metal emblem on it. It's a lot clearer, but you'll see Dom Tesset Clamat, or translated to though silent, he speaks. I know some of y'all like symbolism and such, so I thought I'd stop by his headstone, and I'll show you that other one like I said. Here's the headstone of Martha Jane Doherty Litta. Really no information on her, but sometimes I like to read up on their relatives and click on their, their profile to see where they're buried. So I found her father's profile, and he's buried at Namur Cemetery, Missouri. Well, you won't really find Namur Cemetery anymore. It's been deleted from existence. And I'll put a link below, but to quote a Find a Grave write-up, it was kind of sad. And this is just another example of why historical cemeteries are in trouble. And with those cemeteries disappearing, I think the stories disappear. And that's kind of what I want to do with this channel, is like just find some cool stories and tell them before they are long gone, because you never know when a cemetery is just going to get neglected for many years. And this is it right here. Check out this quote. The cemetery is completely gone. Years ago, the farmer of the land notified the relatives of the deceased that he was going to plow up the ground to grow corn. No one responded, so he dug up the tombstones and dumped them in a ditch. AKA, no more cemetery. And I think Annette Huntington Fry's headstone is another example of you never know who you're walking past. She was born in 1841 and a pioneer of 1852 in Oregon. Her father, William Huntington, founded Castle Rock, Washington. And if you're looking to get away from the world, this place looks absolutely absurdly beautiful. So need a vacation, visit Castle Rock. Time for the tour. Lots of traffic, as you can see. And very quiet. Except for the birds and the chickens and the goats. Them I don't mind. But they got this pretty little entrance here. Just parking on the side of the road. If you're visiting, most likely you'll have the whole place to yourself. I'll try to find that woodsman of the world emblem one. It's really pretty, and it had that saying on it. think for the most part, it's a religious cemetery. There is a church right down the road, and I'm trying to remember what exact religion it is. Masonic symbol. There are some recent burials as well. This one looks very festive. Kind of Christmassy. That's kind of unique. I don't think we've seen that where it has the flower on the side with kind of bulging out like that. It's Navy. I haven't seen that before, the airborne symbol. I wonder if that's the official symbol they use. Like we have some GAR members here, Grand Army of the Republic. Guessing they served in the Civil War. A lot of Civil War vets here, like I said. Oh boy, this one's really weathered. I can't read it. It's not on the other side by some chance, is it? No, there it is. Pretty old one. Not seen any vandalism, which is good to see. This one looks like it did crack though in half, so who knows. I think it's just so out there in the country, but sort of in the open at the same time. That makes sense that maybe vandalism hasn't been an issue here, which is good. Because as we've seen with other cemeteries, it's kind of been a nuisance. This one's in really good shape, jeez. Somebody must be taking care of that. That was pretty. Looks like there's GAR on the right, Masonic symbol on the left. For Newberry, I feel like we've seen that name before. Here is a better look at Woodsman of the World symbol with the little saying on there. That's really pretty. It's better to see, harder to see on that other headstone, but a lot easier on that one. J.P. Adelwad. Tough one to say. Guessing that's his wife there. Yeah, this one had a good mix. Some pioneers, Civil War vets, news stories, a mysterious one that I cannot find of Asa. However, it's very quiet and pretty out here. I highly recommend visiting this one. So that's kind of it. It's a small cemetery, like I said, just a big square, but a small one. But it's the end of the tour. It's a small one, but a good one. Some interesting stories and very quiet. So I highly recommend visiting this one. But if you have any interest in commenting on cemeteries to visit in Oregon or in southern Washington, it'd be much appreciated. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching, and stay safe out there.